Alright, hello everyone, welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is December the 16th of 2022. And it is a Friday. Thankfully it's a Friday. Because man, I need some rest. It is definitely time. It has been a long week. A long enough week that I can say it's been a long week. Today we're going to read Jeremiah 15. I don't have anything I really want to talk about current events. Just a lot of the same old garbage hero worship and vanities of men. A lot of the same old frustrations, temptations, nightmares of this world that keep pushing themselves in, trying to make us all fall and falter, by the way. And sometimes you just have to step away from it. You just have to pray to God that He takes it away, because it just keeps coming. More and more, it just keeps coming. But I'm not going to focus too much on that kind of stuff. We're gonna read Jeremiah 15. We're gonna get the word that we need to have today. And we're going to try to interpret it as best as we can. Because you got to remember, I am not a perfect Bible scholar. Neither am I what you would call a chosen prophet. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy trying to figure it out. And yes, if my voice sounds like it's super deep right now, it is because I have been experiencing a bit of a sore throat. I started coughing a lot yesterday, and it's probably because the furnace has been on more, and I haven't been drinking as much water. I've been eating a lot of garbage, unfortunately, only because we have been, well, my wife has been sick, and I've been kind of left to my own devices on fending for myself. So, of course, when you do that, you tend to eat some of the worst garbage. But also, I've been out with the dogs more. I know I said it before that we picked up one of Mom's dogs, and she is just a pain in the butt. And I've been having to stand outside more with her, and it's been getting colder, and it's been raining, and it's been sucking. And I know that can't be good for my health, but that's what you got to do with this dog. She's kind of special needs and spoiled, completely and totally spoiled. But she's a good dog. She doesn't know any better. This is why you don't pick up old dogs. Any dog that's over 10 years old, it's like this, you have to break them out of all those old habits that they used to have. She's got 14 years of just having the worst habits ever. My mom, I swear. But she's had a hard life, man. That dog has had a hard life, and we're taking care of her. We're trying. We're doing our best. She's just frustrating sometimes. But enough about my life. Jeremiah 15. Hopefully I can get through this without... It feels like my throat's starting to close up. Hopefully it's not. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I when my throat gets like this and I hear my voice in my head, and the only thing I can think of is, that's not me. Who is that guy? Who's that guy? that's not me at all. It's like last night we were going through, I'm getting really tired of going through my mom's memories. I'm sorry. I just am. She kept so much stuff that means nothing to me. It meant something to her, but I can't keep it. It's, you have to move on. You have to move on. But we were going through some of her stuff, and I found some pictures of me from high school. The one picture of me from high school that I really, really like. And I was like, who's that guy? Who's that dude? What happened to him? Wow. Of course, then again, I saw a couple of pictures of me last week that Mom saved. That it was about 20 years ago. I had lost a lot of weight because I'd kind of lost my mind, lost a job, lost my mind, and was starving myself. Fasted for probably a good 8 months. And it's like I woke up out of the darkness one day and just like, oh, I have to pull my life back together. But Mom had pictures of me, and I didn't recognize who it was. That's sad. I didn't recognize who the guy. I was like, who is this guy? Who's this guy? Because I had my head kind of tilted down, and I wasn't really looking at the camera. I was looking at something else, and it's like, who is that? Oh God, that's me. Oh wow. Yeah, it was crazy stuff. All right, Jeremiah 15. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. It shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death, to death, and such as are for the sword, to the sword, and such as are for the famine, to the famine, and such as are for the captivity, to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? That was a bad one. I was trying to get. Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside and ask how thou doest? Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward. Sorry. Just had to wipe my nose. Just trying to get away from it. Or trying to get away with wiping it while I was talking, but it took too long. Just trying again. Verse 6. Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee, and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting. And I will fan them with the fan in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. Their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas. I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler at noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city. She that hath borne 7 languisheth. She hath given up the ghost. Her son is gone down while it is yet day. She hath been ashamed and confounded, and the residue of them will I deliver to the sword before their enemies, saith the Lord. I don't have my glasses with me, so it's, some of it's a little blurry, some of it's not. I know, I should have my glasses. It's what it is. I'm gonna take care of my nose here. Hold on a second. Okay. I probably turned the mute off too fast. You probably got to hear some of that. Good stuff, isn't it? Alright, back up to the top. Excuse me. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. This is, of course, coming after Jeremiah was pleading with God, do not abhor us for thy name's sake. Do not let us all be wiped out. Do not let us be destroyed. But even though we have committed all these sins and all these atrocities, you said you were going to bring judgment upon us. So, for your name's sakes, do it. But keep us in mind. Always keep us in mind. Have mercy upon us. And the entire time, God kept saying, this is going to happen. They have turned so far away from me that I can't do anything about it. We've hit the point. We've hit the point where something has to be done. This has gone out of control. So that's what this is now saying. Even though I had my best prophets standing in front of me, standing before me, and they were my people, and I told them that I will let your people be saved above all things. Even before that, I have to turn away from my people. It's time. It's gotten past that point that we're gonna have to put a stop to it. Verse 2, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such are for death to death, such as are for the sword to the sword. Now, A-R-E, such as are for death, is in italics. That means that it wasn't there. So, such as for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword. It doesn't really change much, but it helps you understand the line a little bit better. So we're going to leave it in there for now. Such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are to the captivity to the captivity. So everybody's got their own place where they're going to go. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. The sword to slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth. 4 kinds. Such as are for the sword to the sword, such as are to the famine, such as are to the death, and such as are to the captivity to the captivity. Well, trying to remember the 4 horsemen. War, famine, pestilence, and death. is pretty close. There's more to those lines. There's definitely something more to those lines than we are not immediately reading right now. That's probably definitely something to look into. Verse 4, and there's the little footnotes that, tell you this verse is in reference to something else, is all about something before Jeremiah, not after Jeremiah. But we're talking about something that's extremely similar to the four angels. You have to remember the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Those are the four angels. Those are the four angels that sit on the corners of the earth, the ones that blow the winds, the ones that make the seas run, the ones that take charge of all these things. Those are the same ones as the four angels that stand beside God in heaven. Those are the same ones that release the destruction upon the earth. Those are his four appointed angels. Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know it either until I was reading through and I was like, oh, wait a minute. You talk about the four angels at the four corners of the earth. It's like, those are the angels. That's it. It was a connection somewhere somebody had made. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was... I wish I could remember what it was and where exactly it said it was. Again, you would think that having been reading through all these books, I would be writing these things down. It's probably in like Enoch or Jeremiah, or not Jeremiah, Jasher or something. I don't remember exactly where it said it was. But even in the book of Revelations, it says that the four angels that sit beside God, those are the four that he calls to go down and release all the destruction. And it doesn't call them by name. It just says those are, the four. So, putting that in the context of this, or again, it's the famine, the sword, death, and this captivity thing. It makes you think, though. There's definitely something here where we should probably be looking at. And then you have four kinds of evil that comes across to people. You have the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And the Bible loves its symbolism. So you've got the sword, dogs, fowls, and beasts, which could very easily have something to do with the animals associated with the four angels that are coming down. What is that? I don't know. That's something that we should look at. Just not right now. I'm just saying, though, it just seems like there's something there. When you hear these things again, you gotta kind of put it together, and you can kind of find it if you really look for it. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. It sounds like that's what they're alluding to. Verse 4, and I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside and ask how thou doest? Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee, and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting. I am weary with holding back. Let me see if that word is exactly what it is. Where are we at? Verse 6. I am weary of being moved with pity. I am weary of having compassion. Ooh. Oof. I am weary of putting up with it. There's one for you. As a father to his children, you can put up with a lot, but when it comes that time for you to bring the law down, just like I did with my dog this morning, with Mom's dog this morning, she was barking at 5:30 in the morning because she had to go outside. And I took her outside, and she wanted to sit. That's how spoiled she can go outside. She used to be able to go outside anytime she wanted to, because she had the doggy door. And I could put up with a lot with her, and she just kept doing it. She just kept going out there and just laying down, and I'm like, come on, you have to go do your business and get back in the house. And she just wouldn't do it. And I finally had to yell at her. I don't yell at her that much, but because I don't want to, because she's old. She's old and she's frail, and she's been through too much crap. You don't want to deal with it, but it just got past that point. Just like a father would with his kids, just like God will do with all of us. It's once you've hit the point, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to have compassion on you if you people won't have compassion upon yourselves? How am I supposed to have compassion on you if you refuse to even acknowledge that I exist? That I can do all of these things to help you, and yet you spit in my face. You refuse to listen to me. I did everything in my power to bring you out of the worst places in the world, and all you did was bitch and moan. But I still gave you everything. And now this. Now you've done it to this point. What do you... I am weary. I'm tired of it. I've given you enough compassion. I told you. I warned you over and over and over again. That is becoming the world now. We are seeing everything falling further and further down the hole. And the reason that things are failing faster and faster and faster is because God's tired of it. He's going to reclaim it eventually. And we're seeing evil and darkness spread more and more and more because good people are not speaking up enough, speaking the truth, being honest. They have fallen in love with this world, and they are just letting it fall. And some people are reveling in it. Some people are enjoying the hell out of it. Oh, I'm so glad there's something new. Change for the sake of change doesn't do anybody any good. Verse 7, and I will fan them with a fan in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. To be fair and be honest, since they decided to choose those ways, they were probably going to be destroyed anyways. But God says, I will destroy my people because they just choose not to return. They have moved backwards. I pulled them forwards all this time, and they slid right back into it. It's like all the Israelites that as soon as they got in the wilderness, after they got saved from Egypt, as soon as they got in the wilderness and they saw how rough it was, they were like, oh, I would rather be a slave in Egypt. Really? You'd rather be a slave in Egypt than be able to make your own decisions? That's what's happening right now in America. You got so many people that are like, oh, I would rather have the government tell me what to do and do all these things for me instead of having to work hard to work for what I have. Government, give me money. Government, give me food. Give me all these things. I will give you all my power. Just make sure you take care of me. It's the same exact. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. You have no true free will of your own. No, what's the word? Ability. The word's not ability, but you have no ability to be able to function on your own. No, true sovereignty over yourself in order to be able to go out and just do it yourself, to make it your own. You have to rely on other people. And not only are people doing that because they just don't want to work for it, people are doing that because they've been lied to about that being what they need. I mean, so many people we've all been lied to about, well, you need the government. Somebody has to be able to stand there and do all this stuff for us. Who said that? Who said we need the government? We need to be able to protect ourselves, protect our cities, protect the land that we have. The government has done almost nothing but cause more pain and destruction than it has helped. You really need the government at this point? Really? The government was put in place, the American government at least, was put in place in order to protect the rights of the states and the individuals. It was not there to make laws. It was not there to set laws, to tell the people what to do. It takes away the power of sovereignty of man. All the Bible ever tells you is that you have your own sovereignty in this world. All you have to do is follow God and not follow the world. That's sovereignty. That's taking control of your own life. There's nothing in the Bible that says that you have to give up everything to a wicked system that doesn't care about you to begin with. But people would rather live in that. People would rather fall for that instead of doing anything for themselves. And it is causing so many people to fall further and further back into the slavery of Egypt. Abraham Lincoln didn't free all black people from being slaves. He just made everybody else equal to the slaves. He didn't lift anybody up, he pulled everybody down, and then he just took the chains off. That's all that happened. We're all slaves now. We have to fight to get out. People have to realize that. You're not free. Nobody is free until they're willing to stand up and say, you cannot do this to me. Since they return not from their ways. Verse 8, their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas. I have brought upon them against the mother of a young man. I've brought upon them against the mother of a young man a spoiler of noonday. Okay, it's just the way they have that written. I have brought upon them against the mother of a young man, of the young men, a spoiler at noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city. She that hath borne 7 languisheth. She hath given up the ghost. Her sun is gone down while it was yet day. Yes, golly. Man, is it just the way it's written? Is that what I'm having a problem with? She that hath borne 7 languisheth. That probably means something. She hath given up the ghost. Her sun is gone down while it was yet day. She hath been ashamed and confounded, and the residue of them will I deliver to the sword before their enemies, saith the Lord. Their widows are increased. I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler. She that hath borne 7 languisheth. Alright, let's read that one. Let's see if we can find out exactly what that's meaning. The cardinal number 7. She that hath borne 7, to bring forth, to bear, languisheth. Seven what? There's a lot of things that have 7s. She that hath borne 7 languisheth. Let's see if these references will tell us anything about that. I'm sure somebody's like, well, the 7 has to do with yada yada yada. Well, I don't know that. I don't know what that means. She that hath borne 7. 7 what? Are we talking about the 7 hills of Rome, or are we talking about is it the 7 heads of the beast? Didn't he have 7 heads? Is it 7 heads, 10 horns? Is that what it was? Something like that? It wasn't 10 heads, 7 horns. Of course, I don't know. My brain's not working today. Amos 8:9. Let's go see what it says. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, I will cause the sun to go down at noon. We already read something similar to that, though. Because it does say, her sun is gone down while it was yet day. Now, there are also what they used to consider the 7 wandering stars. The major stars. Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. It's another one of those hidden Bible mysteries. She that hath borne 7 languisheth. I wonder if I can... Why don't I just look it up, see what happens? Get that out of there. Okay, she that hath borne 7 languisheth. The mother of 7 will grow faint. That's a translation. What does that even mean? She who bore 7 has grown... Wait. Go in there. She who born 7 has grown feeble. She has fainted away. Her sun went down while it was yet day. 7 what? That's very strange, isn't it? See if we can look up compare translations, meaning and commentary. She that hath borne 7 languisheth, either the mother that has borne many children, 7 being put for a large number. Now go, what kind of pop-ups are killing me? Now being able to bear no more, and being bereaved of what she said, well, that's possible, or who were her staff and support, and from whom she had her expectation, faints away and dies through grief and trouble. Or Jerusalem, which somebody also, I don't remember where it was exactly, somebody said that Israel is surrounded by 7 hills. Israel itself is surrounded by 7 hills. You take that with what you will. Who knows? But we are always supposed to be looking for the land of the 7 hills. And of course, people will constantly say, "Oh, it's Rome." Rome sits in the midst of 7 hills. People will say, "Oh, it's Washington D.C." because you have the 7 hills. They're not physical hills, but they're places of power inside of Washington D.C. But then somebody said Israel itself is surrounded by 7 hills. And they pointed each of them out. 7 mountains is what they were. And it was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I don't know what to think of it. But this is also saying, well, 7 is the largest number for having children. Maybe it's somebody that can't bear any more children. She is now destitute. Maybe. I don't know. It said is also an interpretation of 7 wicked kings of Israel and the 7 kings of Judah. Maybe. I don't know. That's just a very strange thing just to have it just pop up, Let's see if there's another commentary here. 7 being the perfect number. She's not perfect anymore. She's falling. I'm still looking. Sorry. 7 being the perfect number that indicates fruitfulness. But after 7, it's like the other one said, is possibly it's because that's all she can have. Poor children, now being able to bear no more and being bereaved of what she had, and who were her staff and support. That's the same one that I just saw a little bit ago. Huh. Well, okay. That helps a little bit. She hath given up the ghost. She has died. She bore 7 kids. She languisheth and died because 7 was a perfect number. That, again, that we deal with so many other places where it says 7 of something. Maybe it's something there. Maybe we are just talking about an old woman. Her sun is gone down while it is yet day. She hath been ashamed and confounded, and the residue of them will I deliver to the sword before their enemies, saith the Lord. That also sounds like it could be a nation, a people. That's why we do this. We're trying to figure this out. That's interesting, though. Let's keep going, huh? Verse 10. Woe was me, my mother, that thou hast borne me a man of strife, and a man of contention to the whole earth. I have neither lent on usury, nor men have lent to me on usury. Yet every one of them doth curse me. The Lord said, Verily, it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil, and in the time of affliction. Shall iron break the northern iron and the steel? Thy substance and thy treasures will I give to the spoil without price, and that for all thy sins, even in all thy borders. And I will make thee to pass with thine enemies into a land which thou knowest not, for a fire is kindled in mine anger, which shall burn upon you. It's basically God saying there's always going to be a remnant, so I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of, that you're not going to straight out die, that these evil people that I bring upon you, I'm going to let them run all over you, but you're not going to die. You're going to be taken into captivity, and you're going to be treated fairly well. Let's go back up to verse 10. Woe is me, my mother, that thou hast borne me a man of strife, and a man of contention to the whole earth. I have neither lent on usury, nor men have lent to me on usury. Yet every one of them doth curse me. We are all under usury. If you have ever taken a piece of money, doesn't matter what country you're in, if you've ever taken a piece of money and traded it to somebody else for goods, you are under usury. Learn where that money comes from. Learn how they do money now. It is all under usury at this point. At one point in time, it may have been, oh, well, this is a bill for the amount of gold that you have in a bank. But it doesn't work like that anymore. They have taken and lent the gold out that people used to have inside of the banks. They lend that money out to other people for a price, so that people could have that money to buy things, but then you have to pay it back to the bank. Plus, all banks do this. Therefore, all money is under usury at this point. It's what it is. We are all under that spell. To be in debt is to be a slave. Everybody is in debt. Even if you are Joe Schmo living out in, West Africa tribe that you've never had anything to do with anybody ever. Somebody owns the land that you're sitting on. Somewhere along the line, one of the kings, the princes, whatever, decided that land is mine. It doesn't matter how they carve it up or who they say the land is. You can say you own the land you have all you want. But somebody somewhere says that you owe them money for living on that land. Therefore, you are under usury. They own us all. It's been like that for a long time now, and it gets worse and worse the more developed a country is. Especially America. I can go on and on about how bad America is and how bad they have us all enslaved, but I'm not going to go into it. But yes, the whole of the world at this point, they own every single bit of it. Actually, they don't really own a damn thing, but they tell you that they own it. And the people are stupid enough to believe it. People, they won't just stand up and say, no, it doesn't work that way. And then, they'll go get their mafia thugs, and their lawyers to show you the paperwork, which still means nothing. I mean, you got to remember, paperwork is just, it's not, there is no official tie between paperwork and a physical object. It is only your perception of the tie between paperwork and a physical object. You get like a bill of sale for a car, and it says, you bought this car for X amount of money. This is the car that it is. Here's the VIN number. Here's all the other stuff. Here's all the other information about it. That goes into a system which says this car belongs to this person, yada, 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 all this stuff. But that means nothing. That means something to them. It doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't matter. A car is a car is a car. It's a physical object. Anybody can get into any car anywhere and drive it around. It's until the system stops you and says, oh, hey, wait, this is supposed to be, Joe Schmo's car. Why are you driving his car? You know, where's your license? Where's your registration that says that this belongs to you? Where's your registration that says that you paid X amount of dollars to your government in order to be able to drive this down a government road? Because the government made this road for you. Therefore, you have to pay the government because they built it for you. Even though no one ever asked, hey, do you want a road built? Sure. You know, do you want to donate some money to it? Sure. But no, the government said you have to pay us X amount of taxes and we'll build a road for you. What if I don't want that road? What if I want this road over here? What if I want to choose the people that build the road? What if I think that road doesn't go the right way? What if supposedly the system says, well, you see, you get all these people that, you know, if you go to the meetings, you go to all these places, and if you make your voice heard, you know, supposedly the representatives will change all this stuff and yada 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 and all this. It's like, yeah, but what if that's not what I wanted? And that's not, you know. Unfortunately, you've created this democratic system on top of a constitutional republic that still becomes, you know, two wolves and a sheep voting to see what's for dinner. You know, it's still one way or the other. It's not, you know, nobody ever completely gets their way, but people have been convinced that's the way it is. And people have been convinced that you need to have a piece of paper that has your, you know, your name on it, that a thing is yours. That's just the system. That's just the system that says that thing is yours. That's just the system that says that you have to pay them X amount of dollars back because you exist in the world. That's just taxation. It's usury. Because you got to remember, money is meaningless now. Trade is a thing. You know, you could trade physical objects. If you own X amount of things, you know, if we went back to a barter system, you'd find out really quick who wants to survive and who doesn't want to survive. I'll tell you what, you will find people that will learn how to grow food really, really fast. But the entire banking system, every single bit of it, from top to bottom, was created with the concept of usury in mind, in order to trick us and manipulate us out of our money. And it has gotten to a point now to where they just create money out of nothing, and it's becoming credits. You were a good little boy, so you get X amount of credits today. The credits mean nothing. That's nothing. It's becoming digital. Once the money becomes digital, everything becomes worthless. If everything becomes worthless, then why would you need to own anything? You don't have to own anything. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And once you get to that point, once you get to the point to where money is meaningless and everything you do is only there because you did a good job and you spoke the good word and you towed the party line, then you're a slave. 100%. It's not so much that you're a slave now. No, they want you completely in their control, where nothing you can do will cause you to become better than you are. Right now, it's still possible. It's still somewhat possible to be able to become better than you are. But when it gets to that point, they'll own you, lock, stock, and barrel. Anyways, enough about that. Verse 11, let's keep going. The Lord said, Verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. There's that part about the remnant. There will always be a remnant, and I will make sure that the remnant gets through. Shall iron break the northern iron and the steel? Thy substance and thy treasures will I give to the spoil without price, and that for all thy sins, even in all thy borders. I will give all your treasures to the spoil, and that for all thy sins, even in all thy borders. Everything you will have will be taken away, and you will go into captivity, because you are the remnant. And I will make thee to pass with thine enemies into a land which thou knowest not. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, which shall burn upon you. This is still post-Egypt. Is this still after the first? This is before the temple was burned down the first time, right? Before they were taken away the first time. And then the second temple was built. Daniel... Yeah. Am I wrong on that? Have to give me a second on that one. I will make thee pass. I will make thee to pass with thine enemies into a land which thou knowest not. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, which shall burn upon you. So is that after? That's what I'm wondering. Because you got to remember, we went through Isaiah, and Isaiah said the same thing. But Isaiah was talking about the very end of days. And he was talking about people going into another land. Just trying to figure it out. I'm sure there's probably more to it. Just not today. I will definitely, I will keep that in mind as I am listening to videos. Verse 15. O Lord, thou knowest, remember me and visit me, and revenge me of my persecutors. Take me not away in thy long suffering. Hold on a second, I need to see something. All right. Take thee not away in thy long suffering. Know that for thy sake I have suffered rebuke. Thy words were found, and I did eat them. And thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of mine heart. For I am called by thy name, O Lord of God of hosts. I sat not in the assembly of the mockers, nor rejoiced. I sat alone because of thy hand. For thou hast filled me with indignation. Why is my pain perpetual, and my wound incurable, which refuseth to heal? Wilt thou be altogether unto me as a liar, and as waters that fail? All right, back up to 15. O Lord, thou knowest, remember me, and visit me, and revenge me of my persecutors. Take me not away in thy long suffering. Know that for thy sake I have suffered rebuke. As have we all. Thy words were found, and I did eat them. And thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of mine heart. For I am called by thy name, O Lord God of hosts. I do not know what Jeremiah's name is in Hebrew, but I do know it is Jeremiah. So it is, the ending of the name comes out as Yah. You will find that with several of the prophets, that they're somewhere in their name, they are called by God's name. Interesting little bit of trivia for the people that didn't know. I didn't know that until somebody pointed it out to me, and I said, wow, that is a thing. That's awesome. That's amazing. 17, I sat not in the assembly of the mockers, nor rejoiced. I sat alone because of thy hand, for thou hast filled me with indignation. Why is my pain perpetual, and my wound incurable, which refuseth to be healed? Wilt thou be altogether unto me as a liar, and as waters that fail? So again, it's coming down to, you promised us the land. You promised us power and wealth, and you promised all of these things unto us, and we have suffered for this. We have gone through all this trouble for this. Were you just lying to us? And then God says, verse 19, and no, I did not pre-read this. I know exactly what's coming. It's, everybody always wants to say, well, you promised us all these things. And then 9 times out of 10, God says, well, if you just would have done what I told you to do in the first place, or if you just want to come back to me. And then verse 19, and therefore thus saith the Lord, if thou return, then will I bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me. And if thou take forth the precious from the vial, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee, but return not thou unto them. And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, saith the Lord. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible. That's you get to understand how it works after a while. Everybody always says, all this is coming upon us. What do we do? How do we do it? Why are you doing this? Why are you bringing this, all of this pain and misery unto us? God says, well, you fell. You fell for the tricks and the lies and the garbage of this world. Well, what did you think would happen? He said, you know what? I promised you, if you would just listen to me, just follow what I asked you to follow, I will give you all the children you could ever want, all the food you could ever want. I will give you places that you could sit and eat and be comfortable. I will give you flocks. I will give you treasures. I will give you wonders beyond wonders. I will give you all these things. I will promise you that. All you have to do is just listen to me, follow my commandments, and I don't have bad commandments. All I'm trying to do is get you to not be like the rest of this world. So then what happens is they become like the rest of this world. And then it becomes, well, now I have to send all this stuff against you because you obviously can't clean it up yourself, so I have to clean it up. And then people ask the question, well, why is this happening to us? Why does this keep falling apart? God says, well, because I told you. And they say, well, just remember us. Well, why, you said you promised us all this, promised us all that. And that's when God says, well, if you turn away from the evils of this world and if you come back to me, I'll give it back to you. I promise that if you quit backsliding back into this world of evil and sin that you came out of, that I pulled you out of, that I helped you out of. If I had not pulled you out of Israel, man, you'd still be sitting there building pyramids. You'd still be sitting there getting whips cracked against your back. You'd still be hauling stones. If you believe certain books, your children will be used as the mortar between the bricks. Yes, that was a thing. You would still be worshiping these evil gods. It would be 5 times worse now than you think it is. I pulled you from that, and I said, you don't have to have that. I will give you something better. You don't have to follow the ways of this world and that do nothing but hurt you and destroy you. The people of this world that go out of their way to lie to you and manipulate you and destroy you, that cause you to fall into usury, that take everything away from you, take all your power away from you, make you work some 9-to-5 job with mandatory overtime, that takes away 40% of all of your wealth, make sure that you never are able to store up any savings whatsoever so that you can fix your life. That will work you to the bone until you're 60, 70 years old. And then by then you're too old to enjoy life. And they will take your children and they will take them to these institutions of unlearning, these government-sponsored places where they will brainwash them into thinking that they are something that they're not. Or even worse, they will turn your children against you. I will let these people do that to you. I will make it to where you own nothing, and you're going to be happy. You're going to be happy because you have to listen to the people that rule over you. He says, but I can pull you out of that. I can give you something better. I can definitely give you something better. I can pull you out of that. All you have to do is just quit following what the heck they say. And I will pull you out of it. And I will take you to a land of milk and honey, where there's plenty of goodness going on in the world, where you don't have to worry about a damn thing. You just have to just live your life and be happy. But you have to step back out of it. You fell for it. I get it. People are ignorant. You fell for it, and you let it rule over your life. I get it. You know, people fall for it all the time. The lies out there, they're snares and traps, and people don't know any better. Hey, you know, it's fine. It happens. But now that I've told you how bad it is, now that I told you the things that you need to see, now that I've told you that you need to come out of it, it's up to you. If you choose to walk away, then I will help you get out of it. That's why things are the way that they are. It's because people are refusing to come out of it. They have been so dulled down by the world that they are more than happy to stay stuck in it, because they just don't care. That's where we are. That's where we are. Does that make sense? That's where we are as a world right now, as a society. That's where things are. Verse 19, therefore thus saith the Lord, if thou return, then will I bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me. And if thou take forth the precious from the vile, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee, but return not thou unto them. I have to know what the word mouth means. Says eats edge in my mouth. And if thou take forth the precious from the vial, if you will take forth what I told you to do out of the vial. Remember, in the context of the things that we have read before in this, it has been talking about mixing and intermingling God's word, God's ways, with evil ways. Remember that? It was saying, why would you dress up your ways? Why would you dress up your doctrines, your faith, just in order to find the love of God? Why would you do that? Why would you mix it with other cultures, other religions, other evil religions, and think that that was okay? If you take the precious from the vial, take the word out of the evil of this world that you have mixed it into, then shalt thou be as my mouth. What comes out of the mouth of God? The sword of the truth. It comes out like a sword. It is a light. It is like fire that consumes the world. It is like a sword, which is the sword of the truth. The truth emanates from your mouth. It emanates from the heart if you are saved. You shall be as the warriors of truth that shall go forth and simply speak the word, and entire nations will fall. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains simply by speaking it. I'm thinking that's what that means. Let them return unto thee, but return not thou unto them. Let them come back to you, because you will be my mouthpiece. You will speak the truth. You will speak the ways of God, and they will come to you. You will be a light in the darkness. You will be the beacon that they will find, and they will flock to you. But do not return back. Do not slide back. Do not fall back into the evil of those ways. And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to save thee and deliver thee, saith the Lord. Yet again, he promises you protection, promises the nations protection. If they will simply turn to him, you'll never have to worry about it. I will give you all these things. Yet again, I will give you food, I will give you children, I will give you comfort and joy and all these things, and I will make sure that no nation can rise up against you ever until you fall or turn back to your evil ways. And then I will let the nations run right over you, because I warned you over and over again. I am weary with having compassion upon a people that just don't give a damn. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible. I will save you. I want to see what terrible, if terrible is simply just the word. All-inspiring, terror-striking, awesome, terrifying, ruthless, mighty, oppressive, oppressor. There you go. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the oppressors. I will redeem thee. I will rescue. I will rescue you out of the hands of the oppressors. That's what he promised. That's what he promised Moses. He told Moses, go tell my people. Go tell my people if they start following my ways that I will take them. These are my people. I chose these people because I chose Abraham. Abraham was the only good guy that I could find at the time. And I pulled him out of a world that used to sacrifice humans, probably used to eat humans, probably used to do all the vile and evil things that they used to do on the other side of the flood. The things that caused the days of Noah, the things that I said, I'm going to have to flood the world. I'm going to start over. I'm not going to destroy the world. I'm just going to flood the world. I'm going to kill all of these creatures so that we can try this again. Because it had gotten so bad that he could not redeem it. He could not fix it. But somehow it found its way over. And yet again, they all got together. They all did the Tower of Babel. Nimrod came in. They all started worshiping these gods again. And God was like, there's got to be one. There's got to be one. And sure enough, he found Abraham. And he told Abraham, he said, I will give you everything you could ever want. Just follow me. I'll redeem you out of these people. And he did. He redeemed Abraham. And of course, Abraham went for a while. And then, the Isaac and Jacob had his kids. And of course, they had to move down to Egypt because of famine, and took all his kids down. And of course, Egypt was doing okay apparently for a while there under Joseph. Whenever Joseph was kind of going through and being like the second hand of the Pharaoh, but then they forgot about Joseph, and they forgot about Israel, Jacob. They forgot about, the pacts they were keeping. Egypt slid back into the way it used to be. And then, of course, next thing you know, all the Israelites are slaves. How does that happen? Over 100 years. Just over, a couple hundred years. It's like, you guys are the coolest people ever. You guys helped us do this. You guys, your God has told you that you can, predict these things that have happened. You caused us to be able to buy up the entirety of Egypt. All these lands are now ours because of that. And then slowly but surely it went from, these are the best people, to, well, now hell, you're all slaves. 200 years. 200 years. That's exactly as long as well, we're getting close to 250 years now, but I would say it's even then too. That's how it happens. Whatever happened to America, whatever America used to be, that's how it happens. Is the same way it happened to Egypt. Slowly but surely, little by little, law by law, they were enslaved. And I'm sure that there was probably people that saw it coming too. And of course, the Egyptians probably had to, the Egyptian CIA probably had to make up a term for them. Probably call them conspiracy theorists. Things just weren't the same when the good Pharaoh Kenedius was brought through on his chariot, and somebody shot him with a bow and arrow in the head from the grassy knoll. Seriously though, I'm getting out of hand on that one. But seriously though, that's probably exactly how it worked, and it probably had something to do with money. It probably had something to do with gold. And it was probably slowly like that, just a little by little. Oh well, let's make a new law to where you have to get gold from a certain place. Let's make a new law to where you have to follow the government, like this. Let's make a new law to where, and it was probably taxes. Everybody wants to say that all of these modern taxes and money usage and all these things are only, are Roman. Of course, the Romans won the war, so the Romans are going to tell you whatever they want. The Romans tell you that they invented everything. The Romans didn't invent shit. The Romans stole everything from other people. So the Romans didn't invent nothing. This is probably an Egyptian concept that was what eventually turned the Israelites into slaves. And then the next thing you got 200, 300 years later, there's Moses popping out saying, everybody's a slave now. Even Moses would have been considered a conspiracy theorist. There's a guy over here that says that he keeps saying that the Egyptians are evil. He keeps saying that all these people are slaves and that they're trying to control everybody. They're trying to control the world. He says there's a way out. There's a way to do it. He's just a conspiracy theorist. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know any better. Noah was a conspiracy theorist. Abraham was a conspiracy theorist. Abraham, well, he didn't really tell anybody. He just left. God got up one day and said, Abraham, just get out of there. Just go. Just go. Here, look, I'll divide the land in half. You just get on the other side of the river. You have all of this. You just leave those people alone. Moses was definitely a conspiracy theorist. Oh, wow. David was a conspiracy theorist. Saul did his absolute best to shut his mouth. Daniel, oh man, Daniel was a conspiracy. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, he's a conspiracy theorist. There's an evil running the world. He's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. Christ was the ultimate conspiracy theorist. You are of your father, the devil. You should not be doing these things in my house. You can be better than this evil world. Oh, God, he's such a conspiracy theorist. Do you get it yet? Do you get how this works? And that's what they would call him, too. And you know what? What happened is they eventually strung them all up. Peter, Paul, John the Baptist. Because they dared to call out the truth of the world. That it's all being run by demons and evil, and that there is a better way. So they all got called out for it. And then eventually they all got killed. Which is exactly what's happening now. As you have hundreds, maybe even thousands of people now. Maybe even hundreds. I don't even know. I don't even know how many people are out there really trying. Because everybody's shadow banned at this point. But are constantly saying there's something wrong. There's something wrong. We have to stop it. We have to fix it. We have to do something about it. And of course, the mainstreams, oh no, they're just wacko tin hat wearing. Just remember, you can't wear tin hats anymore because tin foil was done away with. Now it's all aluminum. And aluminum, you should never be putting on your head because aluminum actually attracts electricity. It does not repel electricity. Just keep that in mind whenever someone calls you a tinfoil hat wearing nut job. You show them that you're smarter than they are. And we don't do tinfoil anymore. Some people do. Somebody said, oh yeah, there's still tinfoil in the world. You just, it's more expensive. Yeah, but most of all of it's now aluminum foil. It's not tin foil anymore. And aluminum foil actually pulls in electricity, pulls in radiation. It doesn't push it away, it pulls it in. So if you wear aluminum on your head, you're actually frying your brain worse than you would if you were leaving it alone. Don't be stupid. Come on, that's what it comes down to. All right, I'm going to stop. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. My brain is definitely a little fuzzy today. I can feel it. Like I said, it's the change in the weather. It's the change in the environment. Everything is changing. It was wet. It was raining. It's been wet and raining for the past couple days. And we're talking about getting snow in a couple days. So, yes, the environment is changing and my body is trying to keep up with it. So my sinuses are clogged and my throat is raw and my joints, oh, my knees and my shoulders and my fingers. It's the weather change. You can feel it. You really feel it. You start getting this old, man. You're. I always made fun of those people. Oh, my joints are aching. There's gonna be a storm. Yeah, right. Whatever, man. I get it now. I get it. It's there. It hurts. Somebody who definitely gets it are my dogs. You can tell the dogs just don't want to get up. They're just like, nope. And you try to force them outside, and it's like, nope. All right, I shall talk to y'all later. God bless everyone. Take care of yourselves. Do not take my word for it. Go study it for yourself. Go find it for yourself. Go find the truth. Pray to God that He shows you the truth. But don't listen to me. I'm just some knucklehead that I'm just trying to figure it out myself. I shall talk to y'all later.